That talent, the first touch, the dribbling, absolute magnet for opponents, the key man throughout the 10-game winning streak, one of the greatest returns in Championship history. Welcome to Championship Cheat Codes, a new feature on the channel where we're going to look at those players who were just too good for the EFL Championship. Each episode will pick out one player and one season, have a little look back on how having this player was the equivalent of a Championship cheat code. My opening pick is a player who always gets tongues wagging, bums off seats, eyeballs watching and emotions cooking. We're talking Jack Grealish of Aston Villa and his 2018-19 season in the Championship. Regular watchers will know I thought this season was one of the very best. And although competition is very stiff this particular season, definitely one of the best players in the Championship. Villa had been relegated in 2016 and were going into their third season in the Championship. It was the last year of the parachute payments, but hapless owner Dr. Tony had sold up to NSWE in the summer after Villa lost to Fulham in the playoff final. Steve Bruce was in charge and Jack Grealish started the season as a much hyped 22-year-old with plenty of talent who was yet to fulfill it. Steve Bruce lasted only until the October international break before he was sacked and Villa replaced him with Dean Smith. They started well under Smith, scoring 17 points in the first 9 games, with Grealish popping in 5 goal contributions, but he got injured against West Brom in early December and Villa wouldn't see Grealish until March. How did Villa cope without him? Not very well, winning just 2 of the next 13 games, leaving them in 13th place with 12 games to go when Grealish was finally fit once again. What happened next was one of the greatest returns in Championship history. With Grealish back in the team, Aston Villa went on a 10-game winning streak and went from mid-table to confirming a playoff place with 2 games still remaining. Dean Smith's style was methodical and possession-based and suited Grealish absolutely perfectly. Much of the play was funneled down the left-hand side where Grealish took up a midfield position. Pretty much every time he got the ball, he would stand up a defender trying to progress with a dribble or a quick pass. He was an absolute magnet for opponents, drawing countless fouls and creating spaces elsewhere on the pitch for the likes of McGinn and Abraham. On his return from injury, Dean Smith also made Grealish captain of his hometown club, essentially going all in on a player who he thought could be the difference. The Villa boss got that one absolutely bang on. Grealish was the key man throughout the 10-game winning streak, returning with a spectacular volley against Darby and then scoring a famous winner in a fairly infamous derby at St Andrews against Birmingham. He scored the winning goal at Rotherham. There was a goal and an assist against Bolton as Villa went on to the perfect 10. It was 6 goal contributions in that 10-game run, taking him to 11 in his first 19 games since Dean Smith took over. At this point, every opposition manager had a plan to stop Grealish, with often more than one player utilised. The more attention on him, even from the opposition, the more Grealish wanted on the ball. In the playoffs, it was West Brom who took the lead at Villa Park in the first leg, but Grealish was instrumental in turning the game around before the return at the Hawthorns. First, he sucked in 3 Baggies defenders before teeing up the equaliser for Conor Hourihane, and then he won the penalty for Tammy Abraham to send Villa into the second leg in front. That second leg, I must confess, was a slog. Villa got through on penalties. Grealish scored one of them. Villa got the job done at Wembley against Darby, with Grealish, the recently installed captain, lifting the trophy to end a brilliant season where everything seemed to finally click and the huge potential we all saw started to be paid off. And he's not looked back since, has he? Star for Villa in the Premier League, into the England squad, £100 million transfer to Manchester City, Premier League in his first season, treble in his second. So what made Grealish such a cheat code? Well, to have a player who's obviously too good for the level for any length of time. really relies on a good bit of timing. The player is normally on the way up or down, and this is a clear example of a homegrown player who's going to go right to the top, starting to really catch fire at a second-tier club. It was the right manager for Grealish's skill set, allowing him to express himself, play at his own pace, stopping on the ball often to draw in opponents. That's obviously been tweaked by Pep Guardiola and taken to a whole new level. That talent, the first touch, the dribbling was all ready to go, and this team, this division, this manager lit the fuse and let things explode for Jack Grealish. I absolutely loved watching him. Let me know your take on Jack Grealish 2018-19 in the comments. And far more importantly, do you like this Championship cheat codes concept? And if you do, who should we feature next? Now, every week on the Player to Watch and Worldie of the Week, I tell you lot, don't just pick your favourite from the club you support, but for this series, just this once, that's exactly what I need you to do. From the past then to the present, click here to stick with the channel and see my latest bold predictions video for Championship Round 6. I wonder whether we'll be seeing any future Championship cheat codes this very weekend.